We should hang our heads in shame over the death of Roxie, the 17-week-old red panda at Edinburgh Zoo, who's been spotlighted because of the impact of fireworks that just go on and on and on, and you can't anticipate them, you can't protect your pets from them, because people's self-indulgence knows no end. And because the firework day has sort of lost its resonance, because November the 5th is no longer that significant in our country, we've now, instead of not having fireworks at all, we've got fireworks that are endless. They go on, they're popping off for about a week. And this incident, compounded by the sudden demise of her mother Ginger only days before, raises stark questions about the responsibilities that underpin communal celebrations and private celebrations and their unintended consequences on vulnerable species. The Royal Zoological Society of Scotland, in the middle of all this grief, has called for urgent action to prevent such tragedies from recurring, advocating for tighter regulations on fireworks that resonate well beyond their decorative spectacle. Fireworks have long been a celebration of a symbol of celebration, punctuating the night sky with brilliance and thunderous applause. Yet for animals, domestic pets, livestock, zoo inhabitants like Roxie, these displays, these bombs, evoke visceral fear and stress, translating into real and sometimes fatal psychological response. Rox's reaction to the explosive sounds of bonfire night was devastating. She choked on her own vomit, succumbing to the very fright induced by nearby displays. This painful sequence of events is not merely anecdotal, but emblematic of a broader pattern of distress that animals endure annually. The Royal Society's call for heightened regulations echoes the voices of over 1 million petitioners who've urged the UK government to reassess firework policies. But it's not really the job of the government, it's the job of individuals. A sense of responsibility and empathy. Key recommendations should include restricting private use to specific cultural dates, lowering permissible decibel levels from the current 120 decibels to 97 decibels, mandating the licensing of public displays. Such measures, animal welfare groups argue, would balance public enjoyment with the safety of creatures who cannot comprehend or prepare for the sudden chaos. Firework control zones, recently trialled in parts of Edinburgh, represent a step in the right direction but fall short of offering comprehensive protection. The experience at Edinburgh Zoo demonstrates that noise travels. Its impact is not confined by street maps, but carries across districts, unsettling animals who are already predisposed to heightened senses. The narrative around Roxie and Ginger, tied as it may be to the thrill of human revelry, offers a poignant reminder that the responsibility for shared spaces must include the welfare of all who inhabit them, including small animals. Limiting firework use to organise well-managed displays could preserve tradition while curbing the collateral damage that animals like Roxie continue to suffer. It's not an indictment of celebration, but an invitation to consider its impact and embrace responsibility in its execution. This tragic episode urges an introspective look at how society can protect its most vulnerable from the unintended consequences of merriment. Responsible celebration needs not come at the expense of empathy, and a balanced, regulated approach could ensure that future bonfire nights are joyous without leaving a trail of unintended victims. But it's about thinking first before letting off all those bombs. It's not a... I think the death of small animals needs to be considered and needs to be treated with some urgency. If we can close the post offices this fast, we can stop doing damage to small animals this fast. As I say, we should hang our heads in shame. Those animals are our responsibility. We've got them in cages, we've got them in zoos to look after, not to subject to some sort of torture because of our merriment.